Good afternoon or good morning to you all, depending on where you're joining from. I'm Sam Berkman, J Street's National Director of Communal Relations, and welcome to End the Silence, a community call to action. Thank you for joining us today for this important demonstration of unity as we address what has been and continues to be a moral reckoning. Since October 7th, we have all felt the weight of this war impact our lives. Many of us know people who were murdered that day, who were taken hostage. We have family, friends, and colleagues either on active duty or have been called up from the reserves to serve in Gaza or elsewhere. We know so many who have spent days and nights going back and forth from bomb shelters. We have encountered increased anti-Semitism and violence across the United States. Unfortunately, it is easy to make the case that the lives of all Jews have been impacted by this war. And though each of our personal timelines may have differed for reaching these conclusions, we are all here now, today, 22 months after October 7th, to say it is time for this war to end. It is time to free the hostages, and it is time to surge aid into Gaza. Too much blood has been spilled. Too many days have gone by in captivity. Too many lives are on the brink of starvation and preventable death. And while it is easy to lay the blame with Hamas for all of this, to claim even rightly that none of this would have happened had they not launched their barbaric attack on October 7th, today that is not enough. It is not enough to check the box of assigning all responsibility to a terrorist organization, think that that absolves us, and go about our day. Rabbi Menachem Creditor put it more succinctly when he recently stated, "No, we are not morally responsible for Hamas's crimes, but yes, we are morally responsible for how we wield our power." And I think we are all here today because we know that Israel has immense power. And we also know, sadly, that it has not exercised that power to its full extent to preserve life and bring this war to a close. We've heard from recent Israeli former defense ministers and retired generals and commanders that Israel has achieved all that it can militarily in Gaza. We've heard the call from hostage families for an end to the war that includes the release of all remaining hostages, a position supported by 74% of Israelis and one that the government has not plainly offered in negotiations. And we've disgustingly heard government officials from the prime minister on down explicitly acknowledge their use of humanitarian aid as a weapon of war. It's sad, it's frustrating, it's difficult to know that these are the actions being taken or not taken by Israel, the Jewish state. My relationship with Israel is strong enough to withstand these truths and these faults. In fact, my relationship with Israel requires me to confront and not avoid them, to acknowledge and demand that Israel can do better. I don't recognize this Israel that uses starvation as a weapon of war, this Israel that would not do everything in its power to bring home the hostages. 22 months in captivity. It's too long. It's 664 days too long, and every day that goes by is another day too long. The Israel I know is the massive pro-democracy movement with supporters who were defending Israeli democracy for months when on October 7th, they shifted gears in an instant and transformed into a huge support network, racing to the front lines, gathering supplies and donations, collecting intel on the hostages, providing mental health resources. It was tragic but necessary. It was the brilliant combination of Israeli patriotism, ingenuity, and compassion. The Israel I know is Women Wage Peace, the Parents Circle, Families Forum, and many other organizations that look to bridge divides, see the humanity in the other, and recognize that the fates of Israelis and Palestinians are all bound up in each other. I know that Israel is still there, overshadowed by extremist politicians, horrific headlines, cynical political deliberations, and the ugliness of war. There are still Israelis raising their voices and fighting for the Israel I know, and that you all know too. And so we are gathered here today to support them, to join together and rededicate ourselves to do everything in our power to end this war, free the hostages, and surge aid to Gaza in the name of our Jewish and democratic values. And I thank you all again for joining us at this critical moment.